Laser sights increase confidence regardless of experience level, whether you're learning the fundamentals or overcoming aging eyes. Crimson Trace, making laser sights standard equipment. Visit crimsontrace.com to find a dealer near you.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, Tom's talking training and summer carry techniques, plus what it's like to be on first-person defender, a cool new gun, your range reports, and more. Call in now, 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now, here's Tom.
Alrighty, glad that you can be with us. I'm Tom Gresham, and it is Gun Talk once again, because, hey, if it's Sunday, that's what we're doing. We're talking about guns. Well, okay, truth of it is, if it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, we're talking about guns. That's what we do. It is just, hey, it's our passion, it's our interest, and it really doesn't matter. And this is the interesting part about firearms as a category, and sometimes people just don't get that if they're not into it, is how many different areas there are within this wide range of things we call guns and shooting and such. Some people are strictly interested in personal protection, self-defense. And of course, that can break down into 100 different areas of training and competition about self-defense and shooting and ammo and guns and lasers and lights and on and on and on. But some people want to talk about competition. Well, sure, that's simple, right? Well, except that now we're talking about trap or skeet or sporting clays or long-range rifle shooting or precision bullseye pistol shooting, or it just goes on and on and on. Or your thing may be hunting and guns and ammo and scopes and optics for hunting, and we'll talk about that too. Or maybe you're just a collector. I say just a collector. Maybe you like to collect and don't like to shoot, although I find that most people who collect also do shoot. And then, of course, that breaks down into, well, I collect Colts, I collect military guns, I collect whatever it is, Model 21 Winchesters. Doesn't really matter. It just goes on and on and on. And some people say, well, Tom, that's what you do too. You just go on and on and on. And I guess I do. I got a passion for this stuff. I love the whole idea of firearms. You know, a gun is the ultimate remote control. You press the button here and something happens over there. It's why a lot of us guys really like our guns. They're remote control devices. It's just fun to be able to punch a hole in a piece of paper over there or knock over a tin can. And, you know, when you think about gallery shooting at county fairs when you were a kid, that was kind of one of the fun things. Is you could shoot and knock over something. You can make something happen over there. That's kind of cool when you think about it. And now you take that and expand it on. I guess one of the things I'm saying with this is for those who, and I was just reading a story about a woman who's running for governor in Florida, and she's staking out her position. She's the anti-NRA. She doesn't want those people from Washington coming into Florida and telling them what to do, except that, of course, there are a zillion NRA members in Florida. And on the anniversary of the Pulse nightclub shooting, she's standing up and saying, we need more, wait for it, not gun control, gun safety laws. No, you have nothing to do with gun safety laws. You have everything to do with restrictions on law-abiding citizens. Restrictions on their ability to buy guns, own guns. This is Florida gubernatorial candidate Gwen Graham, and according to the Orlando Sentinel article, says proposed new gun safety measures in the wake of Monday's mass shooting outside Orlando and the approaching one-year anniversary of the Pulse shooting, except that, of course, she's not proposing anything that would do anything about those. She just reverts back to the Democrats' agenda, their shopping list of repressive gun control laws. And now she wants, comprehensive universal background checks on all gun sales. In other words, we want to ban gun shows and make it illegal for you to give a gun to your brother or loan a gun to your neighbor for the weekend. Oh, yes, she's also proposing a ban on large capacity magazines, a requirement that abusers surrender firearms when a protective order is issued against them. Oh, yeah, well, I guess she doesn't know that's already the law. And giving law enforcement, quote, you love this, the tools they need to prevent those with serious mental illness from purchasing or keeping firearms. Well, isn't that just lovely? Doesn't that just sound peachy keen? We're going to give law enforcement the tools they need to prevent those with serious mental illness from purchasing or keeping firearms. Now, for those who don't know, it is currently against the law, according to federal law, for anyone who has been adjudicated, that is, court of law, adjudicated to be mentally incompetent. But what she's really saying is, we want the police to be able to decide if you are mentally defective. We want the police to be able to just come in and say, nah, you look a little bit stressed, and we're going to come into your house and take all your guns. I'm not making this up, people. This is what's happening in some states already. So this is what you're getting from Florida gubernatorial candidate Gwen Graham. It's what's going on around the country, and it's what they're trying to do in your state, and I don't care where you are. So when they say they're wanting gun safety measures, see, for me, a gun safety measure is something that makes a gun safe. That is, it has a good trigger, it has a good design. If it has a manual safety, that works. If it has an internal safety, that works. Beyond that, gun safety is what you, the operator, do or does with your gun. This has nothing to do with gun safety. These are just restrictions on law-abiding people. This is, we have to get rid of guns, is what this is. Gwen Graham. Oh, and I always love it. They say, well, I support the Second Amendment, but, right? And I love this quote. I won't let extremist groups from Washington like the NRA turn this into a Second Amendment versus gun control debate. I respect the rights of law-abiding gun owners. Yeah, I just want to take their guns away. I just want to let them not own fully functional guns that have full capacity magazines. I just want to make it illegal for you to loan your gun to your neighbor for him to go hunt ducks with this weekend. I want to make sure that the FBI is involved every time somebody hands a gun to somebody else to loan it to them. And then when you bring the gun back to your neighbor, now you'll both have to undergo another FBI background check. Because, see, one has to get the check going one way, one has to get the check going the other way. Well, that's not what I meant. Well, that's what you said. That's what you advocate. That's what it is, the so-called 40 universal background check. So that's what's going on. That's what they're doing out there. And they want to bring that to a state near you, your state. That's what Michael Bloomberg's billions wants to finance. Of course, he says, well, I can give $25 million, I'll give $50 million for gun control, which to him is like you taking $1.95 out of your pocket. It means nothing. So that's what's going on there. But in the meantime, well, here's what's interesting. People are buying guns, a lot of guns, more guns. Guns are cheap right now. Ammo is cheap right now. In fact, one of us here just bought another gun. Gee, I wonder who that is. Not me. Wasn't me. Look over in Jim's quarter over there. Hey, our number is 866-TALK-GUN, or just dial Tom Talk Gun. Looking for your range reports. What have you been out shooting this week, or what are you going to go shoot? I went back into the storage unit because we are taking everything out of the house after the fire and pulling out. A takedown 1022 caught my eye. I think that has to go out to the range. We have to have a little fun with that. 866-TALK-GUN. I'm Tom Gresham, and this is Gun Talk.
Alien Gear Holsters, the most comfortable and concealable holsters on the planet, is offering big savings with our new 2-holster combo. Now you can buy 2 complete holsters for as little as $49.88. Choose from any available holster styles and colors for the guns of your choice. All of Alien Gear's quality products are made right here in the USA and include a 30-day trial, forever warranty, and free shell trades for life. Visit aliengearholsters.com today.
Hardcore tactical professionals who put their lives on the line every day depend on Surefire. For decades, Surefire has built the first and finest professional-grade flashlights, weapon-mounted lights, hearing protection, and suppressors. We build the best because lives depend on it, and we know failure is not an option. We design, engineer, and manufacture Surefire products right here in the U.S. For you, for your loved ones, Surefire. American built, American strong. Surefire.com.
You got your carry permit, and that's good. But you know you could use more training. Get the DVDs, which have what you need. Springfield Armory presents Concealed Carry 1 and Concealed Carry 2 with Bata Group. Learn specific concealed carry skills from Top Gun fighting trainers. Get trained. Be prepared. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
Your guns are hungry. They crave lead, feast on recoil, and are ravenous for performance. On the menu, Aguila Ammunition's complete line of rimfire, centerfire, and shot shells. Each and every round of Aguila ammunition is made with the highest quality of materials and crafted to ensure optimal reliability, accuracy, and proficiency. Visit AguilaAmmo.com and let the feeding frenzy begin. Aguila Ammunition. Feed your firearm.
All right, back with you. Something fairly interesting happened a few days ago. In fact, do you remember, was it maybe just last week or at least the week before? Maybe the week before. We had Marty Hayes on here from the Firearms Academy of Seattle, but also from the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network. Good group. I have been a customer of theirs for some years, a member of the group. It's kind of like insurance for concealed carry, but it's a little different. I like their approach, I guess is the way. I'm not going to say it's better. I'm just going to say I like their approach. Did you see the open letter that he wrote to Wayne LaPierre this week? And before anybody gets all upset, this is not NRA bashing, but it is a bit of constructive criticism, perhaps. Essentially, and it's a long letter, and Marty is, of course, a veteran police officer. He also decided to go get his law degree so that he could help people who had been in self-defense shootings. He's a good writer. And as you know, the NRA brought out its new Carry Guard product. It is insurance for concealed carry folks. And right before the NRA annual meetings, like 2 weeks before, the NRA informed the USCCA, U.S. Concealed Carry Association, that they would not be able to display at the NRA meeting. Now, these are people that they'd made their plans, they had their hotel rooms, they had their travel book, they had their booth already reserved. And now, the NRA, of course, had been working on this Carry Guard program for months upon months. They knew about this for a long time. Because when we got there, it was everywhere. There were signs, there were hundreds of signs everywhere for Carry Guard. There were big booths out there. There were people hawking this new insurance that the NRA is selling. Along with training, by the way. Oh, yeah, the NRA is going to be involved in self-defense training. So they tell USCCA 2 weeks before the show, sorry, you won't be able to show here. Marty does a good job, and I would encourage you to go take a look at it at the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network webpage, or website, armedcitizensnetwork.org. Let me know what you think about it. And he says, look, you know, he likes Wayne LaPierre. Marty's attended board meetings. Says, but he was concerned when he went to the board meeting and they're using terms like, quote, modernizing the financial underpinnings of the organization. which he says apparently means competing in the marketplace against current NRA members. What Marty is saying is simply this. Look, what's the NRA about? You are now getting into the business that your members are in. You're going to compete with your members. You're going to, and frankly, I think they will probably end up destroying a number of businesses because they have the weight and the power to do that with this Carry Guard insurance program. And Marty's point is, well, is that what the NRA is about? Is it about insurance and just making money? And I will tell you, frankly, I made the same point to incoming NRA President Pete Brownell. I said, look, this is what this looks like to me is the NRA is saying, look, we really don't care about you, the member, unless we can milk you for some money. And yes, that's going to irritate some people that I said that. I get it. But, you know, nobody's perfect, including the NRA. And I have said for 20 plus years on the air here, you know, they are excellent. You should support them. You should be a member. But they're not perfect. And the only way we improve the NRA, which is our organization, not their organization, is to call them on things like this. When they have a wine club. So that's just stupid. And it's offensive. I realize that you're trying to make money. I get that. And you need to, they say, well, we need the money to do the good things. Yeah, I get it. But you don't do that by creating training. How many trainers, self-defense trainers out there belong to the NRA and are going to be affected by this? Are going to be, their business can be affected by this. So, I mean, yeah, and Marty says, look, I'm not quitting the NRA. I support the NRA. I've always supported the NRA. But at the same time, you get to say something. You get to speak up. When you saw the news about the NRA's Carry Guard program, what did you think? 866 Talk Gun. I'm just curious if it... And when you heard that they told the USCCA that they couldn't use the booth that they had paid for at the NRA annual meetings, how did that strike you? The only way that we correct things like this is by speaking up. We're long-term loyal members of the NRA and just say, hey, you know what? This doesn't feel right. This doesn't sound right. I don't think the NRA needs to be in the business of, I mean, imagine if the NRA said, well, you know, we're going to start making guns. And because of the weight that we have in the market, we're going to put some gun companies out of business. And they would. Or we're going to start making ammo. Would the ammo companies support that? Or how would they feel? There are areas that the NRA rightfully belongs in and should stick to and reinforce and do well in. But I don't know. And I don't know, maybe, is it just me? Or do you have any thoughts on that? Do you have a suggestion or, you know, your reaction to it, I guess? I do want to say I applaud Marty Hayes for having the guts to say this because he understands what it could mean. He understands that the NRA has weight in the industry beyond belief. I have personally felt it here before when they didn't like something I said on the air. But, you know, the NRA is not them. The NRA is us. It's all of us. And so if we speak up and say, you know, guys, that's a bridge too far. That's just a little too far. That just feels too much like you're out there trying to milk us for all the dollars you can get and running roughshod over other groups because you can, because you have that kind of strength and size and weight. It just feels, I don't know. For me, it doesn't feel right. Just saying. But anyway, to Marty Hayes, congrats. Well done. I understood, and it took a lot of guts to do that. I had done it in private. Marty did it in public. So good on you, my friend. So we had a fire, as you know. I talked about this a good bit last week. We just had the fire. We spent the whole week working on the house. Insurance adjusters, fire inspectors. Fire inspector had the greatest quote. He says, here's the good news. He says, we're out here talking with you instead of talking about you. I love the fire inspector when my wife first talked to him on the phone. He says, all right, and this is right after the fire. He says, where you're standing right now, do you have 4 walls around you? She said, yes. He says, do you have a roof over your head? She said, yes. He says, okay, now I know what we can work with. That kind of resets your whole deal. So some people, all they have is a big pile of ash. We got a lot of stuff burned and a lot of smoke damage and all the rest of it, but for the most part, it's going to be inconvenient and expensive and all of that. We're going to be living somewhere else for the better part of a year while the house gets gutted and rebuilt and everything else. But that's just stuff. I'm looking at it as an education. It's part of my ongoing education. I will learn things in the process. I will have new experiences in the process. And I'll have a chance to get rid of a lot of stuff that I should have gotten rid of. All that stuff. You say, God, man, how did all this stuff accumulate here? Well, if you have to take everything out of your house, you have a chance to look at all your stuff. And you have a chance to say, holy smoke. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It'll be a year's worth of interesting. Line 3, Robert's with us out of North Dakota. Hey, Robert, you're on Gun Talk.
Hi, Tom. I just wanted to call and comment about the NRA and the USCCA kind of thing going on right now. Got just a little bit to say about it. I kind of think that's a little not very classy of the NRA to do that. I'm a member of the NRA. I get my concealed carry insurance from USCCA. I've been a member for about 1.5 years to 2 years. Very pleased with the USCCA for insurance. Mm-hmm. I'll still maintain a membership with the NRA. However, for my insurance, I will continue to go with USCCA. And one of the main reasons is, if I'm not mistaken, I think the USCCA offers don't quote me on this, but I think it's roughly about $1,100,000 per occurrence. And they offer that money and that coverage for an individual who needs the help. They offer that up front. And the difference is with the NRA, they'll offer a certain amount of money, but you have to get reimbursed for that.
You got to get reimbursed, and it's a great point. And you need to check your policy because they do vary. You got to read the fine print as you do. I'm learning that with insurance. It's one of the reasons I like the folks at Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network as well. It's a different way of approaching things. Thank you for that call, sir. 866-TALK-GUN. Hey, when we come back, I want to talk to you about a new gun. Cool stuff going on out there. I'm Tom Gresham, and this is Gun Talk.
Sign up for our Gun Talk newsletter and join the Truth Squad at www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk with Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
All righty. Let's talk about some guns, because it is, after all, Gun Talk. I'm Tom Gresham. If you'd like to join us, and it's fun. We're just shooting the breeze. Some people say, oh, man, do you radio? No. It's not a radio show. It's just a bunch of folks sitting around yakking about guns. We're just having a bunch of fun. Your ideas, my ideas. And, if you think I'm full of it, by all means call. Oh. And by the way, if you have just stumbled upon this show, and you have no idea what we're doing, and all of a sudden you're going, holy cow, there's a show about guns. I hate guns. Well, cool. Call us and let us know why. And here's the thing. It's not like other talk shows. I'm not going to shout you down. I'm not going to cut you off. We are going to have a conversation, but I will absolutely give you the floor. If you think guns are bad, we should have more gun control laws. Pick whatever law you want. Tell me why you want to have it. And, we would have some interesting and perhaps educational conversation. The number is 866-TALK-GUN. Easier, honestly. Just dial 1 and then Tom Talk Gun. That'll get you in here. There's a company making some guns and bringing guns into the country that you may not have heard about. Grand Power, Eagle Imports, got some really interesting stuff they've been doing. And joining me right now to talk about that is Raphael DeValle. Hey, Raphael, how you doing?
Hey, Tom, how are you?
Did I get your last name right?
got it. Del Valle, absolutely. Thank you.
Del Valle. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So when you start to tell people about Grand Power and Eagle Imports, and their eyes glaze over and they go, I never heard of you guys. You're going, yeah, but we got all these guns and they're so cool, man.
Well, the thing I'll tell you, first of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate being on here.
Sure.
But yeah, the thing with Eagle Imports is people tend to be more familiar with our products than they are with us because, we're basically just the importer, and unless you're doing business with us, you just usually recognize us by the brands we import. And as you mentioned, Grand Power's the latest company that we've been importing into the United States. Obviously our bread and butter, and that's what most people have heard of is Bersa out of Argentina,
right.
Which we've been bringing in for over 25 years. We also bring in the Metro Arms line in the 1911s from the Philippines, and then now recently the Grand Power, and then we're actually getting ready to start our own USA-made brand, Avidity Arms, which we're working on the first model, the PD-10. It's a
really.
Yep, we're working on that with Rob Pincus, and so basically what we said to Rob was. Is there a gun that you've shot out there that fits every single bit of your criteria of what you're looking for? And he said, almost. And we said, well, you know what? Let's make it. So we're going to hopefully be launching that this fall, and there's a lot of interest behind that.
Now, where are you going to make that?
Right now, we're going to be making it in Las Vegas, but we are looking to put a permanent factory as we start getting larger. Where we're actually going to be, making the majority of the guns ourselves, and we're not sure where we're going to put that yet. So we're kind of still in the building process, but it's something really exciting, coming out of the importation side and moving into the manufacturing end.
Well, if there's a governor out there who would like to have you guys come to his or her state and is gun friendly and wants to offer some really cool tax advantages, they need to contact you.
Absolutely. They can shoot us an email they can contact us through eagleimportsinc.com.
All right, I got to tell people the Grand Power pistol. I don't know if that's what you want to talk about, but I just got to talk about it because
let's talk about the Grand Power.
That is such an interesting pistol. It's like a lot of these guns. Okay, it's a black semi-auto polymer gun, and you look at it and go, yeah, it's another one. And only when you pick it up and start fooling with it, the first thing that happens is you pull the slide back and you go, whoa, what was that?
Yep.
The first time, you're right? Am I right? You pull it back and you go, wait,
absolutely.
Something just
Without
happened
pointing
here.
it out to people, when they start fiddling with the gun, they definitely notice something's different about it right away.
Yeah, you got a rotary locking barrel system, and I am here to tell you, when you pull the slide back, it's like, whoa, several things just happened there, and that was really interesting.
Yeah, it's a really cool system, and Grand Power does have an international patent on it, although there are some similar type of systems out there, such as like the Beretta PX4 and the what's now the Stoeger Cougar have something somewhat similar, but this one is a lot more of a robust design. I feel it's a lot more fluid, a lot more smooth, and you kind of really have to shoot it to believe how smooth these things are, how much that system really affects the recoil of the gun. The recoil is unbelievably light.
That's what I was going to say, because I've shot this pistol.
You have, that's right.
And when you shoot it, it's kind of like you're going, why? If the first thing you do is go, what? What was that, right? And you shoot it a little more, and you're going, okay, yeah, that's repeatable. There's something going on here, and it's just, I like your word, it is smooth. Yes, it reduces, it feels like it's less recoil, but I hadn't thought of that, but that's exactly the right word for it. This thing just feels smooth when you shoot it.
It really does. It's the thing that always gets me is when I'm doing a demo with these guns or some sort of training or something, and you give that person the mag and they put the first one down the range and they always look over their shoulder at you with a big grin on their face.
They do.
And that's when you're like, okay, you get it now.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just it's an amazing product. They're extremely well built. The fit and finish is incredible. The quality and the craftsmanship that goes into them is just amazing. And all the guns are fully ambidextrous for people that are that are lefties that are looking for that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. The majority of them do come with the 4 interchangeable back straps, and they're just a pleasure to shoot. And we are starting to see, we're not a big company, and certainly the factories that we represent are not the biggest, or else they would have their own offices here in the U.S., right? Like the other overseas companies. But so we've had to really do more of a grassroots type of marketing strategy with this line, and we've been bringing it in now for just slightly over 2 years, and we're really, really starting to see, the traction out there with this line of handguns. It's
excuse my coughing there.
Something cool to see.
Oh my goodness, I had a coughing fit there.
All right.
Sorry about that.
No problem. No problem.
All right. Whoa, I don't know where that came from. All right, tell you what, we'll take a quick break here. Hold on, Raphael, I want to talk to you a little bit more.
Some water.
I'm going to drink some water. Everybody else take a break. We'll be right back.
What's important in a gun safe? Security, reliability, safety, good looks? It all comes down to quality. Quality that's built in from the beginning. Liberty Safe has made quality products for 29 years right here in the USA. Trust your guns, your valuables, and your safety to Liberty Safe. Did you ever regret buying quality? I didn't think so. Get the best. Whatever your budget, get a Liberty Safe. LibertySafe.com.
If you carry a gun, you need training. Your concealed carry class was definitely not training. But time, money, and obligations keep you from spending days at a shooting school. The trusted folks at Gun Talk can help. Concealed Carry 1, our DVD featuring the VADA Group, covers what gun, what holster, how to carry, where to wear your gun, and much more. Visit shopguntalk.com. That's shopguntalk.com. Look, this really is life and death. Learn how to stay aware, how to get away, and how to fight if you must. At shopguntalk.com, you can get the 2 DVD set, including Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. No matter what gun you carry, this vital training info can save your life. Learn the draw, the stance, reloading, vital gear from Gun Talk. That's shopguntalk.com. shopguntalk.com.
Why do hunters and shooters love the Ruger American Rifle? With right-handed and left-handed versions, all-weather, Magnum, Compact, Predator, Ranch, and Scope package options, there's a Ruger American for everyone. Lightweight with an adjustable trigger and minute of angle accuracy, Ruger American rifles pack in the features. Is the Ruger American the best rifle on the market? See for yourself at your local retailer or at Ruger.com. That's Ruger.com.
All right, I'm back with you. I've been giving myself CPR over here. I think I'm better. Hey, Raphael, thanks for hanging in there with me.
Your voice is back.
That was the weirdest deal. I don't know if it's allergies or something just kicked in. All of a sudden, it's like, what just happened? Anyway, we're talking about your cool pistols, and this is the Q100. We've been talking about this Grand Power pistol. It's just so outrageously good. I mean, it's 9mm, double action only, striker fired, 15+1. In the 9mm version. So just a cool gun all the way around.
Yep, my dog likes it too. She's over there barking at somebody out the window there.
There you go. It works both ways.
The power pistols have been, all of the ones that we've been bringing up until this point now are double action, single action, hammer fired. And they just recently came out with their first modern striker-fired pistol called the Q100. And it's been eagerly anticipated, and we just delivered the first batch of them. And they're out there people are just raving about them. We're really excited about the gun.
Well, I mean, you guys are really doing some interesting stuff. Obviously, you got Bursa, you got the other brands, you got the Grand Power. You can be making your own gun. I want to direct people to your website. Which website? Because you got a couple of them. Where do you want them to go to see everything that you're doing?
You can go to all things Eagle Imports by going to www.eagleimportsinc.com, and from there you can visit our company homepage, or you can look at all the different brands that we import, and by clicking on their particular pages. You can also, if you're looking for a Grand Power or a Bersa or a Metro Arms pistol, you can visit our dealer locator on there and find out who's carrying them in your area.
Sounds good. EagleImportsInc.com, and you can click on the thing. It's flashing at me now saying Father's Day sale, so you can find out what that's all about. Raphael, thank you so much.
Great deals on some accessories, I believe, on there.
Okay. Well, you guys are doing some interesting things. Keep it up. I want to stay up with what you guys are up to.
Absolutely. Keep in touch, and we'll be sure to do the same with you.
Sounds good. Thanks so much. I appreciate that. Appreciate you hanging in with me. I'll tell you, I got to take this call. John's on line 1. I'm not going to tell you where he is because you're going to figure it out why we're not telling you in just a minute. John, you have the floor. What the heck happened here, man?
Tom, I can't believe you talk as well as you do. For me to talk about this, my house burned, and it's very emotional. And if you're coughing and choking, that's from the smoke. You get delayed reaction.
Yeah, it could be. I hadn't even thought about that. You're right. That's what I've been sucking smoke for a week.
No ifs, ands, or buts. In the case of mine, you can basically see the fire department from my house. They got there immediately. It was a crawl space fire. It was very well noted it was a crawl space fire. And they're going around. They cut open the windows to let the air in. I thought that was incredible. And that just feeds a fire. But they found guns. And they said, well, we got to, for the safety of our fire department, we got to call the police and make sure these guns aren't illegal. And they said, from what I understood, they walked out. They don't let you see what's going on. We did have a security camera system, and I was actually looking at that. You can get on with your phone, look at them in the house.
Well, wait. I'm going to back up. Let me back up. They went into your house to fight a fire. They saw guns and turned around and left?
That's as best as I can understand. And they said they had to call the police. Now, they got there within a couple minutes. The police, it takes them 20 minutes. So the fire should have been put out immediately. Minor fire, caught immediately when it started, just a little smoke coming up from the floor, explanation of what it was. And they didn't, instead of flooding the crawl space with foam is what you normally do, or at least throw hoses under there.
Right.
There are access places all over. They asked how many guns I got and where are they. They had to know. And I have a gun safe. They crashed through the wall with axes. I have guns axed. They just axed them.
Well, and they said they wanted to know if they were stolen. What difference does it make as far as a fire, whether a gun is stolen or anything else?
And I spent a long time with the police officer, and he didn't understand, why am I here? And I said,
that's what the police officer said?
Yeah. Why am I here?
No kidding.
And I believe this is part of Bloomberg's new plan that they're working with fire chiefs to take this kind of approach.
Really?
Well,
now, I will say that the National Shooting Sports Foundation has...
We're in a red state, but the Capitol is blue, the mayor's blue, and there's lots of states like that.
Help me out. Are you east or west of the Mississippi?
I don't even want to say that because there may be litigation, and I don't want to give anybody...
Well, I hope there is, because if they sat back and watched your house burn while they're waiting to find out what the legal status is...
The police officer said, look, they're not listed as stolen. Then they wanted to know where other guns were, and as I said, they axed it into the walls of where the safe, one of the safes is. And I could not believe that. We were there. We had keys, combinations, whatever you wanted. We could have given it to them. No contact. We just found guns. We had to stop. And they also asked if I had explosives. I said, what? What do you mean by explosives? Something that might blow up? No. Do you have bombs? I said, no. Do you have grenades? I said, no.
Let me ask you, because I have very little time left. Are you in litigation right now about this?
No.
You should be. You should have a lawyer. You should look into this, because the National Shooting Sports Foundation... Wait. Let me tell you, the National Shooting Sports Foundation has information about fighting fires with ammunition in it, and the fire department should know about that. It's absolutely not an issue. I don't care how much ammo is in there. It's not a hazard to firefighters, as long as it's not chambered in a round in a gun. And so this is unconscionable, and you need to get yourself a lawyer on this deal. And somebody needs to hold this fire department, responsible for something. I mean, there's just something weird about it. Has anybody else ever heard of anything like this? 866-TALK-GUN. I would love to know. Back with you. Line 3. Lewis is Elmira, New York. Hey, Lewis.
Good afternoon. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. What do you think about this deal with the NRA getting involved in concealed carry insurance?
Yeah. When I first got the American Rifleman, it's the May issue, and I had heard the previous Sunday, I listened to that Armed America show that they had blackballed the Concealed Carry Association because they were directly competing with them in this. Mm-hmm. When I called the NRA, I was very critical with the spokesman that I talked to because they gave a 1-866 number if you were interested in carry guard. So I got the information. Then I told them, why are they getting involved in this sort of thing? Because when Second Amendment companies like the NRA and Concealed compete against one another, that is not good for our cause. So I'd let them know I was not happy with it.
So what's your take? You think others have?
I hope they have. Yeah, I hope they have. Because I think it was ill-founded. It's not something they should have got involved in.
What is it? Has it changed your view of the NRA at all?
No, I'm a life member. Will always be a life member. But like you say, they're not perfect. Sometimes they do things. Mm-hmm. I could see where it might be financially beneficial for them, but I think overall, I think it's not a good move for them to get involved in this when private companies were already taking care of the insurance business.
Well, exactly. Private companies taking care of the insurance side of it and also the training. Don't forget, these are hundreds of people out there who are doing training, self-defense training with guns, and the NRA says, okay, that's fine, but you know what? We're going to do that now, and they already announced that they are now the gold standard, even though they've never done it before. We're the gold standard in self-defense training, and we're the gold really? Just saying it doesn't make it so, and I really think they're going to put a lot of people out of business with this.
Right, I would agree, and like I say, this is not something that I think they should have got involved in.
If you had a chance to talk with Wayne LaPierre about this, you had like 1 minute, what would you tell him?
I would, the same thing I just told you. The same thing I talked to. Of course, it was just a representative that was at the end of this 1-866 line on carry guard.
Salesman.
Yeah. And basically he told me what it covered, and I could see that I didn't see much advantage over what was currently out there. And then I pointed out I didn't understand why the NRA wanted to get involved in this because they're competing against other pro-Second Amendment groups.
Right. No,
and I would tell Wayne LaPierre the same thing. And I just hope many other members have also called on this and expressed their disapproval. It's just like you say, they're not perfect. This is one area. I will always be a member, support the NRA with contributions from time to time. But in this particular regard, I think it was ill-advised.
It's a good point, Lewis. I appreciate the call. Thank you, sir. Very well considered. And that's the whole point, I guess, is that nobody here is saying, boy, I hate the NRA. I'm bashing the NRA. I mean, not Marty Hayes, who said, hey, I'm going to remain a member. I've always been a member. We support them. But somebody's got to speak up and say, this is just wrong. You should not be in the business of putting your members out of business. You should not be in the business of putting firearms trainers around the country out of business by saying, okay, we're going to do this now. And the reality is they're large enough. The NRA is large enough to come in, and they put millions upon millions of dollars into the marketing of it already. Well, it's pretty hard for an individual company or a guy or a gal with a training company to compete against that. And so you have the weight of this. The word that comes to mind here is unseemly. It just doesn't seem like the right thing to do. Yeah, I know they're saying, well, you can make money with this. I get it. Is that ultimately what it's really all about? You had people said, Tom, wake up. You're night. Yeah, I get it. I understand. Hey, when we come back, I want to tell you what it's like to be in a first-person defender scenario. We'll talk to a guy who just got through with that one. Cool stuff.